All right, well, let's get started with today's webinar. Very excited to be able to present this, and it will be recorded, and then we will put it up on YouTube as well. We're talking about valuable resources for running a smooth and profitable shop. My name is David Tolkien. I am the Director of Business Development here at Shop-Ware, and I run most of our webinar sessions. I'm joined by Tom Ham, who's the President of the Automotive Management Network. Really glad to have you here today, Tom. Little background on Tom. He's owned an auto repair shop in Michigan since 1978. And in 2003, he created the Automotive Management Network, which today has more than 15,000 members and is growing. It's the largest online resource for vehicle service management information in the world. And Tom's wife, Deb, is his partner in both endeavors in the shop and in running the website. He's had a Michigan mechanics license since 1975, but now spends his day managing the shop and the website. He's served as a board member on ASA Michigan, and over the years, he's created many shop management systems, documents, checklists, all of which are available on the Automotive Management Network, which we are going to get a run through of today. He considers himself an expert in shop management software, and even though he doesn't sell shop management software, he does spend a lot of time learning, educating himself and writing on it. And currently, Tom and his wife, Deb, we were just talking, split their time between Michigan and Florida. So Tom, really glad to have you here today. I really appreciate the time that you spent with us today, and really excited to show everybody all of the valuable resources that are available on the Automotive Management Network. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I will sort of pass control off to you if you want to share yours, and we can just start digging into all the great things you guys have to offer.
Well, thanks for the invitation. Thanks for having me. See if we can get this going correctly, and you can tell me if we're.
Yeah, we are live and we're good.
Okay, you got the screen share, and I actually did that correctly.
You did.
Well, that's good. I'm just going to give you a general tour, quick rundown of. There's a lot of stuff on the website. It started out again 18 years ago. We just had a small website, and it was kind of discussing some software issues and a little forum, a little homemade deal. And as the years grew, people said, "Why don't you put this on there? Why don't you put that on there?" And et cetera, et cetera. And it grew and it grew and it grew, and it's into the huge website that it is today. The mission all along has been to just I love efficiency and simplicity, and to take the difficulties out of running a repair shop and just make it easier for everybody. That's the philosophy behind it. So almost everything you see on here comes basically from that philosophy.
Yep.
Wherefore, all types of vehicle service, not just automotive. It's Automotive Management Network, but we have members who have heavy duty. They have motorcycle shops, ag, any kind of a motorized vehicle anywhere in the world, and it can even apply a marine aircraft. A lot of what's on here, because it's universal, and if you're running a repair shop on motorized vehicles, there's a lot of similarities that are going to occur. So all are welcome, and interesting to share the information, hear the stuff from other parts of the world. On the home page, that's where we are. We'll just start there.
Great.
Right towards the top, if you're at the upper right, you're going to see, either if you're logged in, it'll well, I'm sorry. If you're not logged in, there will be a login button at the upper right, and that's where you would join. That's where your account information and so on is. This is the main home page, and we'll cover different areas of the site, but I'm just going to scroll down this. This is an overview, and every one of these things that we're seeing, we're going to come back to. But I want to get down to the bottom, because there's one thing at the bottom that I do want to show everybody. Feature that we added a while back is the site is available instantly in over 20 languages. There's a little drop down right at the bottom. You can select your language on here, and it will automatically instantly convert the entire site over to whatever language that is.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
So That's one of those, and it's hidden down at the bottom there, which is why I want to point it out. Now, we like efficiency, we like tips, we like tricks, and just a simple little computer trick that not necessarily automotive, but anything. And it's amazing how many people don't know this trick. But I scrolled all the way to the bottom of that long page. Now, on your keyboard, you have a key that says home, and another one says end. And if you hit the home key, that page is going to go all the way to the top. And if you hit the end key, it's going to go all the way to the bottom. Amazing how many people don't know that, but it's a handy little thing sometimes. You get used to using it, you'll love it. So there's a little tip or trick of the day. When you join, we do not sell, we don't share your information. Everything stays with us. Privacy is a big thing. So whatever information you provide us with is going to stay with us. Nobody else is going to contact you. You're not going to get emails from other companies. Anything you get is strictly going to be through us. Yes, we'll contact you and give you updates and so on, but we don't share it. We just want to emphasize the privacy part of it. Most of the content on the site, the majority of the content is free. But of course, a site like this, there's a little cost involved in keeping this thing all going. And so what we've done is we've taken the best content, what we think is the top content and some of the coolest features of the site, and we made those pay features. So there's two levels of membership. There's a free membership and there's a premium membership. Premium membership gets you access to 100% of everything on the site and some of these cool features. And so, well, how much money are we going to spend here? Well, it's less than the cost of an oil change on a car nowadays. So we're not talking about a lot of money. Just a little bit of money to help support the site, and so we can get this out to as many people as possible. Another feature we added to the site a while back, which I really love, is every page at the top in the middle has this box, this field that says site search. What are you looking for? And you'll see that everywhere on the site, and that doesn't just search this page, that searches the entire website for everything. So yeah, we do have a menu over here, and we'll get to that in a minute with all the details on it, but you don't have to use that. If you just want to look for instance, if we want to say, I want to, how about labor rates? Let's talk labor rates. That's always a fun topic. And you just type that in there, and there's the first 5, and you see down here 90 more. There's the first 100 results on our website that talk about labor rate. So if you want to study it, you can spend all afternoon. Let's put in lug nut. That's pretty weird, huh? Well, lug nut tightening policy at your shop. That might be something important that we added a while back. Let's see. We'll put one more.
Tom, real quick, where does all this content come from? Is this all produced by you guys, or are people adding content? Is it a community based? Like, where is all of this information coming from?
We do have a guest section, which I'll cover briefly somewhere along the line here, that does have some guest content. Other than that, everything on the site is created by us. So it's all done in-house here. And pretty much everything you see on here has been test driven too. In other words, it's been used in a shop to see whether it works. It's been fine-tuned, et cetera, to see what works and what doesn't work.
Got it.
So
that makes sense.
The content is, other than the guest section, everything is original. If you found it somewhere else on the internet, it's because they got it from us, not the other way around.
Got it.
Let's see. Last one I was going to type in is location. Yeah, you're going to move the shop. What should I know about locations if I'm searching for a new one? And again, just there's the top first 100 hits on the word location on our website. So there's tons of information. You can be in here all day. So the search bar is really the key to that website, that search field right at the top middle. Let's see. Now, the main menu, if you will, is right over here, top left, management toolbox. Everything on the site is listed inside of the management toolbox. And that's got a lot of subheadings, so on and so forth, and we'll go through them kind of briefly. But all the resources on the site are in there. One of the most popular ones let's see, under management resources is checklists, forms, policies, procedures, documents. There's over 300 documents in here. And this is practical stuff. What I mean by that is, gosh, you want to redo a brake checklist for your digital inspections. You want a policy for tightening lug nuts. You want a cell phone policy for your employees. That's the kind of stuff that's in here. And the whole purpose behind this is so often you want to do something. You want to create some kind of document, some kind of policy or something, and you start at your desk with a blank sheet of paper and where do I start? And so you get going a little bit and you get work on it for a few hours and you get it. I think where I want it. And then what did I forget? So on and so forth. So with the purpose, we want to cut a whole lot of that time out. Instead of you spending a couple hours in that document, we're going to give you a finished document that's pretty complete, that covers the whole topic pretty thoroughly. And then you're going to edit it the way you like it. You're going to edit it for your shop. You're just going to take pieces you like, pieces you don't like, but it's going to take that couple hour process, maybe of developing that document. We'll knock it down to 30 minutes.
So they can download these like in a Word format and then edit or make changes to them.
Yeah, they're in a format. Let's see. There's a link right at the top here, and it says editing documents, and they are in PDFs. But this will give you a step-by-step process on what you need to do to edit this document to make it look the way that you want it to look. And we're realistic. There's no document in here. I might be one or two that you're going to want perfect just as is, but odds are you're going to want to make some changes.
Makes sense.
So that's the way we've set that up. Also, to give you a better idea, we took 4 or 5 documents and put them in a free sample section, so you can say, well, what is this exactly? What kind of documents am I going to see? Well, here's one for buying a shop. I'm going to buy a second shop and buy my first shop. And what kind of numbers should I be looking at? We're going to put together a nice little checklist here. Here's the numbers you should be asking. Get these numbers and you can determine, is this a profitable deal? Is this worth getting into or not? Let's say getting the right parts the first time. And this is just a good example of a policy procedure that you give to your staff. You tune it the way that you want it. Here's how we get the parts right the first time. Instead of just yelling at the staff and telling them to get the right parts the first time, they say, how do I do that? A lot of times they wonder that. So we put together a little procedure on how to do that. Points of contact. Love this one to take on your shop. It's how many pages? About 7 pages here. And this you start outside your shop and walk around the whole building, and you see everything and touch everything that customers see and touch. And you grade it and you say, where do we need help to make this place look better? You can do this yourself. You can have a customer do this or a friend of yours do this, and it'll really come up with some great ideas on how to make your shop look better.
Yeah, I like that idea of having a third party do it, right? We're all biased towards evaluating ourselves either too positively or too negatively. So having someone that's kind of in a neutral area do it, I think is a great idea. Or maybe even if you have a friend that owns a shop, that is nearby, having them do it because they're obviously paying attention, kind of a secret shopper, so to speak.
Sure. If you ever get involved in a peer group among shop owners, one of the things that they'll commonly do in the peer groups is they'll meet at one of the shop owner shops and everybody will critique it. And this is partially designed around that. All it's uniquely designed by me, but it really covers everything that's probably going on at your shop, everything a customer is going to see. And you can grade yourself. And this is nice. You can put together a plan on how to fix it up. Quick service cart. For time, I'll skip that one. I'm going to go over technician efficiency. This is a 12-section document, about 5 different pages, which you can give to any technician, the most experienced or the greenest technician you found, and they're going to find ways in here to make more money. And this is just, we don't want anybody to hurry. We want them to work efficiently and get things done efficiently without hurrying and do a nice quality job. And that's what this is designed to do. We'll give these to new employees. We'll give them one section of this a week for 12 weeks, and just how to be a more efficient technician.
So that's something you do with your staff?
Yes.
And do you continually do it? Do you do it on a yearly basis? Like, or is it something that's ongoing?
This particular one, it comes in the first 12 weeks of employment, and we don't repeat it after that. We're only going to do it for a new employee the first time.
Got it.
Although you could come back to it. Some of it after a number of years, nice reminders and just little tips and tricks in here on just how not to waste time. So you can kind of see from these documents, you can hopefully see the theme here. We're trying to make your life easier running a repair shop. That's the general idea.
That's Shop-Ware's general idea as well.
Oh yeah, that just makes it so much easier and focus on the things that are important and not fool around with all putting fires out all day. We'd like you to put out a fire just one time, the first time, then after that, let's have a policy to make sure it doesn't happen again. Oh, let's see. Let's go back to surveys. We have a survey page, and these are not supposed to be fun and entertaining. They're supposed to be real practical surveys. This is one we just put up. And the question is sales per service advisor. So often you're in your shop, you're wondering, what do other shops do with this? What do other service advisors, how much do they sell at other shops? And I'll show you a number of other surveys like that. And you really wonder, and it's nice to be able to go on here and see the answers and get a feeling of where are you in this mix? Am I doing good, bad, average? I mean, what do I need to do? What should it be? And these will give you a good indication on a lot of different things. Let's see. Charge for a brake inspection. Just love that one. I mean, every shop owner's got to sit and they got to wonder what other shops charge for brake inspection, or do they even charge for a brake inspection? So we've got it on here, different choices, give you all the results, and you'll see that 4 out of 10 shops do it free, which I found surprising. And a lot of the results of these surveys often surprise me. But these are the questions that go through my mind in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. So I turn them into a survey the next day. Phone quotes, do most shops do them? Don't they do them? What's a minimum number of appointments that shop owners feel comfortable with? R1234YF, evacuate and charge. First time you estimate that in the shop, you go, holy cow. And so what are other shops getting for that? What is the price? What are people getting for that? And you'll see it comes in here in the middle, right around $350, $400. But some people are getting more than 500. And believe it or not, there's a couple guys in here getting less than 150. Although maybe they misread the question. That's always a possibility. Because it seems to me your cost would be more than that. But anyway, there's about 113, I think, surveys that we're up to. And they're all like that from the standpoint of they're on a specific topic that you should find interesting. Now, sometimes we put little search boxes right on the page, which just searches that area. So we can see our big main one up here, but down here we have a little one that's just going to search surveys. So let's try something like labor and labor rate multipliers, tech incentive pay. These all have to do something to do with labor. There's about 10 different surveys there that most people find interesting. This is a great one, multiplier. Does your shop use a multiplier, and how much do they use? And again, I'm somewhat surprised that almost half of shops don't, but the most common answer is 1.2, which I know is fairly common. And down here, you notice here's some shops are more than 1.5. And I've actually talked to one shop was a 2.0. We didn't go that high with our survey results, but so these are the kind of fun things you hear about somebody suggesting this at some seminar or from somebody and say, well, do the shops actually do this? Well, you can come on here, look at the survey and see what do they do and how much do they do? And I believe you feel more comfortable making your decision after you've got some input like that. Oh, let's see.
How many surveys are on the site?
I believe right now there's 113.
And then how often do you put new ones out?
It will vary once or twice a month, generally. There's a number of factors that'll vary that, but at least once a month, sometimes twice a month, there'll be a new survey on there on some new fun subject. We always like suggestions too. Occasionally members will say, can you do a survey on this? I'll say, sure, we can.
That's great. That's awesome.
Let's see. Let's go to our tips area. Shop management tips. There's over 300 tips, and these tend to be short, to the point, the kind of thing you can read through these. And if you read through 10 or 12 or 20 of them, you're going to pick up an idea. You're going to pick up something from that, hey, that might be worth trying. The latest one happens to be numbers to track and post daily. And we're given 7 different numbers that we think every shop ought to take out of their software, put on a sheet, put on the magnet, post it on the refrigerator in the lunchroom, and let everybody see it. How are we doing on these numbers? What through today, through yesterday, how far are we? And here's the goals. Here's what we'd like to hit. Here's where we are. Tip before that was direct mail. Direct mail is fading away, right? Well, not really. And this kind of makes the point that it's coming back, is what we've seen. So there's lots of good little pieces of information. These are not going to be long. They're the kind of thing you can read in 30 seconds, but there's just hundreds and hundreds of tips on all kinds of topics. Again, we have a separate search box here. You can search just the tips area instead of searching the whole site and see if you have a particular subject. These are fun. Oh, let's see. And when we write the material too, something to point out on here, which may be somewhat obvious, but it's other than ourselves from Automotive Management Network, it's unbiased. A lot of the material out there, of course, it comes from various companies that are selling a various product of some kind. And we do have a premium membership, but we don't do training, we don't do coaching, we don't do any of that. So when we write on a particular topic, it's a little bit more unbiased. We're not trying to necessarily shift you in a certain direction. We're trying to give you information so you can shift yourself in the direction that you need to go. Let's go to, this is our events calendar. This time of year, it gets a little bit quieter, but sometimes there'll be as many as 50 different events on here. And what's unique about this calendar is these are all live events. None of this is recorded. None of them are podcasts. They're all live events coming up that you can register for. Some of them are free, some of them not. And we're going to try of course, there we go. And they're from all different kinds of trainers and companies. You got remarkable results. John Thornton, ATG Training, and these are all a variety of training companies. And this is just a calendar of events, so you can see what's coming up. You can book these. You can reserve time maybe at the shop. There's so much available now, and I prefer live instead of recorded. That's just my own personal preference. And there we can do a little Q&A, which I like when they're doing webinars. And you interact a little bit with the people talking. But you can have these, you can schedule these in your shop. And if you want to have a significant training, in-house training program, both for management people, service advisors, technician, if you come back to this, make sure you check this once a week, see what's coming up. We actually take a look at what's coming for the next week, and we post it on our Slack channel within the shop. So all the staff sees what's coming. They can sign up. If it's a pay one, we'll pay for it. If it's a free one, obviously they can just go to it. But so much of this is, you know, on one hand, this isn't real difficult. What we've done is we've gathered this information all over the internet. So you don't have to go to 6 or 10 different websites to find out when all these webinars are, or go out there surfing and search. You can just come to this one page and we kind of track them all. And if you're a provider out there who provides classes, training like this, you can send us the content and we'll add it. There's no cost involved.
That's cool. That's
just
awesome.
It's just a free service that we do for everybody. You just give us your event, the name of the event, the presenter, and the link to register. We'll add it to the site.
Very cool.
Great page to bookmark. Oh, let's see. What else we got? Shop management articles. These are articles that we've researched ourselves. Somebody within Automotive Management Network, and a topic we took and explored it and came back with some information on this and that. A variety of topics. There's about I think we're up to about 160, 170 articles in here right now. Looks like I'm having internet issues going slow, but and just topics that we found to be interesting one way or another. Should techs have their own scanners? When should you replace your tire and wheel equipment? Choosing the right management software. There you go. Auto repair scheduling solutions, and on it goes. Again, 160, 170 articles that we research, and you can click on any one of these, read more, and you get into the whole article. We cover it, and there will be links to other information in there too. Now, go back to management resources. There's links in here to scan tool demos. There's about 10 or 20 of those all together. Wheel aligner demos. Again, instead of searching the net, we put it all on one page, just save you some time. There's a guest article section, and that has there's over 700 going on 750 guest articles, audios, and videos. And from a variety of different people, different trainers, names that you'll recognize. Some of them are discussions, podcast discussions. Some of them are straight up training, 10, 15 minutes. Some of them are longer than that. Some of them are articles. And you can really do, again, in-house training. You know, it's interesting. I was talking to somebody whose name you'd recognize, but I didn't ask him ahead of time, but somebody who's real well known in the industry, very knowledgeable. And he looked over the site and he said, you know, this site has everything somebody needs to run a shop. And I said, yeah, it really does. You got to be self-motivated. You know, if you're not part of a group, you got to be accountable to yourself, but it's all in here. We've got just anything that you could want as far as information and data. We've put it in here somewhere in some form. And we'll get to the numbers in a few minutes as far as making sure you make money, which is the bottom line. But we're just packed with information. Using the site search, you can find all kinds of stuff in here. And I could just go through it, and there's some great people in here with some great information. And we'll talk to, it's kind of fun talking to a new member every once in a while. I'll talk to somebody and they'll say, you know, I joined the site last Friday night or whatever. And I spent the next 2 days going through the website, just finding cool stuff to read and look at.
They binged instead of Netflix binging. They were just binging the site.
Yeah, it's kind of like, where was this? Why didn't I know about this before? This is just a fantastic resource, which is what we tried to do. So let's see. Yeah, in there you'll find marketing, recruiting, management, advisors, financial stuff. Also in the site, we have 10 different forums on various topics. You can see what the subjects are. There's one on software and customer service employees, and just typical forum where there's questions, there's answers, there's tips, there's rants, there's, you know, and you can certainly use those for whatever you want. You do have to be a member to post anything in there, answer questions. But that's how the site started out. Kind of the rest of the site got built around it, but that's our forum section. Let's see. Shop management software is one section of the website. There is a comparison chart that will and this kind of starts you out. How are you going to shop for management software? Well, we kind of put together a 5-step process. So you lead you through it. So you have a plan to go through. The comparison chart is one way to do it. It's just a side-by-side comparison of about 35 different softwares on a variety of information. We mark them there. The key is here on what it all means and so on. You can come back and digest that. These are more detailed. Just for fun, since you're hosting this, we probably ought to go down to the soft survey results from Shop-Ware, and that'll be a page with questions and answers that Shop-Ware answered. We posed all these questions to them, and they answered these. Do we have this feature fully? Yes. No, we don't have this feature. We have this one partially, and then there's an explanation. So every question has an explanation available to the software vendor on why they have it or don't have it, or explaining what their answer means. So
got it. So these are surveys that you send out to all of the different shop management companies, and they have the ability to respond and then add comments based upon their response.
Yeah, and of course everybody gets asked the same 77 questions, so you kind of can shop and compare a little bit, see what, who has what I want. So
very cool.
There are, when we go back in the section, there's some links in here to software demos. Some of the companies have pages, demo pages, where you can kind of play with the software on their site. We have links to those. There's a section with 100 must-have software features, just good ideas, cool things that you may want to consider for the software. Everybody's not going to want them all, but you can use that as a checklist to kind of help you know what features do I want to make sure I have. And then when you get into it, you go through the step-by-step process. We take you right through it. So you end up choosing the right software instead of going, did I just guess at this, or did I do it through a logical process? Let's see. This is the document section, which we looked at earlier. It's just another link to it. Calculators and key business numbers. There's a lot of different key business numbers. And we took some of the most basic ones, which we feel are just the most important ones. There's not a lot of them, but numbers make some people's eyes glaze over. Some people are into numbers, other people aren't. So we thought, well, let's simplify this thing a little bit. Let's not get carried away with 100 different numbers. Let's keep it kind of small. And then let's explain thoroughly what a number means. You're in a meeting, people are throwing around gross profit and all this stuff. And especially if you're kind of new in the business, or maybe you're a technician who opened a shop, you're going, what is that? Or I kind of know what it is. I think I know what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. I've heard it explained, but sometimes, and you know this with topics, you ask somebody a question and a half hour later, you still have no clue after they're explaining. Some people explain things better than others.
Yes, that definitely can happen. We want to avoid that. It's not very efficient.
One of the things that we, if we want to brag about something, is we'll oversimplify it. In other words, you can say, well, I've got some employees that they're a little bit hard to teach. Trust me, our stuff will teach them, because we want to start out very basic. Payroll cost. Last month, Acme Auto had sales of 50,000. The gross payroll was 12,000. Divide that by 50, you got 0.24. So our key number is 24%. And in a successful shop, we want that to be right around the 25% mark. 22 to 27 is the range that we suggest. And we even define it here, total, what is the gross payroll? And we define what that is. So we really bring it down to just the simplest way. So we answer your questions, so you're not wondering when you go in here. We do that with about 24 different numbers. And we also, some people say, hey, I'm really not into math. I mean, make it really simple for me. We said, okay, we're going to put calculators in here on these numbers. So all we have to do is, remember, we had sales of 50,000 and we had payroll of 12,000, and our payroll cost percentage is 24%. So you didn't even have to get out your calculator. You didn't have to do any math. You didn't have to understand, visualize any of this. You just fill in the blanks. We'll take care of it all for you. So now some shop owners may say, well, I know all this stuff pretty good. Yeah, but you're hiring people all the time. This is a great training thing for people just coming in. These are the key numbers we want to hit at the shop. Here's how we get them. Here's how we calculate them. So they're good for training. They just have a lot of great uses. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. I got a question, or one of the sales reps sent me a question last week, which was they were having trouble understanding, how to pay their techs. They were a new shop. No, he wanted to know what he had grown the shop, and they were going to hire someone that was just a parts person to run the parts desk, and didn't know how to pay that person. And so it seems like this is a great place someone could come and ask questions like that, or what are other people doing, or how are they setting up technician pay, and these sorts of things. And because
that's exactly what we want to do. There's a lot of people say, geez, I mean, there's all kinds of social media, there's Facebook and everything else. And that's very true. But so many of these Facebook pages, and nothing wrong with that, but I mean, there's the information is kind of sketchy. In the middle of it, there's a recipe for what to do with venison after you did your deer hunting. And I mean, they're a lot of fun. They're entertaining, but we're a little more business sided here. Maybe a little more boring, not quite as fun. But this is specific stuff where you really want to get serious about it and not just look at somebody's opinion on Facebook who could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
So, we're putting some stuff in here, and if you spend some time in here, I think you'll appreciate it. Let's go to photo galleries. Another useful thing, we need to do something with the shop. We need to do something maybe in the shop, in the customer area. We need to do something with our sign, with the outside, the service advisor area. We want to do something. And we've seen a couple shops. There's shops around town I've been in, but what do I do? Well, we thought, well, again, here's the resource. Literally hundreds of photos in here of every corner of a repair shop. And to just sit in here and just scroll through them, just one at a time, and take a look. Isn't that great? He bought the billboard above his shop and put an arrow pointing at his shop. It's just a great idea. And he decorated for Christmas. What can I do with my customer area? Well, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's better. Yeah. And, but there's different budget ways of doing it in here. You don't always have to spend that much. But there's interesting stuff, what people do, all the different opportunities, and will allow up to about a dozen photos of a shop. This is a place called Matt's. He has a number of shops up in Minnesota, and just has done some beautiful things with it. Waiting area, shop area, outside. I think it's a fairly new building, but you can go through all these hundreds of photos, and you can definitely get ideas. You're going to come away with here. Ooh, I like that. Let's do this. We also want your photos. We've got when you go back on here, you'll find. Back. Whoops. You'll find a button for send us your photos.
Oh, cool.
And you can send us up to a dozen photos, and we want them. I mean, you've done all these cool things to your shop. Let's show it off. Let's show it off to all publicity tends to be good publicity. So let's show it off to other shop owners, and be proud of what you did. So just send us just a little bit of information. Send us up to 12 photos, or send us 2 if that's all you got. And we're going to add to the gallery there. And it just becomes a little bit bigger, and you get to share a little bit more. We have a resource directory, and this is kind of, I guess in old school terms, we'd call it a phone book or whatever you want to call it. These are the main topics or areas that somebody managing a shop is going to be looking for. Everything from financing to insurance to software, obviously, tire and wheel equipment, website designers, 20 groups. It's the kind of thing you hear about this 20 group. Well, maybe I want to join a 20 group. Where do I find one? Well, I heard of one over here, and I can search on the internet. or you can come to Automotive Management Network and you can click on 20 groups and we'll give you links to the most common popular 20 groups going right now. So let's not waste our time in the internet. Let's just click on these guys and see what they got.
Awesome. Very cool.
And same thing with, for instance, same thing with insurance. What we did here is, there's people are always talking insurance, big money. And what we did is the companies listed here, there's not a lot of them, but these companies have specific programs for insuring auto repair shops. They're not just business insurance. These are auto repair shop companies. So you can narrow down your search right away. Just make it simpler. Again, we want to save you some time. Let's get on. Let's get on with business, make some money, and solve these problems. So that's the directory. Let's see. Once you join, there's going to be up in the upper right of every page will be my account, and you can always click on that. You can go in there. You can make changes in your profile and your account. If you're on the premium side, you can make payment information changes in there, and just the kind of things you would do with anything that you belong to, where there's some settings in your account, what you want to get for notifications, all that kind of fun stuff. If you go to let's see, if we go all the way to the bottom, you can click on Contact Us, and we don't hide from you. In other words, what I mean by that is when you go to Contact Us, the first thing you'll see is our phone number. You know how many websites you go to? Well, I was on there 20 minutes. I never could find their phone number.
No one puts their phone number on there, Tom.
Well, we're just that kind of. If you want to call us and talk to us and yell at us, which doesn't happen very often, but when people call, we're going to answer the question. We're going to solve their problem, or we're going to direct you to somebody who can answer your question, solve your problem. You're going to get some value out of calling that number.
That's a
if you'd
foreign
rather
concept.
Email us, if you'd rather email us, just email, send us the message. We reply to these rapidly. We're always monitoring it. We also have, and you can see down here, it says we're away right now. This is the chat window. Well, we're away because I'm doing this. But if I wasn't, I'd probably have this turned on. And this is turned on. It varies 20, 30, 40 hours a week. But when you see it live on here, and I'll have people some people just stop by to say hello. Sometimes they have, where can I find this on the website? Where can I look for this and so on? And we just, so it's another way to contact us. We want to make it easy for you to contact us, ask us anything you want. And with that, I may have ran out of papers and things to say.
No way. Well, that was awesome. I really appreciate it. I think there is a ton of valuable resources on this site, and I've gone around and I spent time looking at everything. And what's interesting from what I've gathered in the research that I've done, like there's nothing really comparable out there like this. There are obviously other sites out there, like Diag Network, that are focused on diagnostic stuff, or straight technician stuff, like IATN and stuff like that. But in terms of, shop management, this is the most comprehensive resource that's out there. So it seems like everybody should really be taking advantage of it.
And that's a good way to look at it. There's more and more resources out there where if you got a DTC, sure, you can research that all day, and there's sites that do that, all these kinds of technical information. But when you say I'm in an auto repair shop and I want an auto repair shop cell phone policy for my technicians, or I want a lug nut tightening policy, where do I find that?
Yeah.
Well, we have one. And a detailed one too, which is, it's one of our longer documents. You'd be surprised on tightening lug nuts. But we try to cover that for you and just, make it all easier. I appreciate your comments.
Yeah. And I think the ability to, like you said, not every single document, for example, is going to be a cookie cutter perfect fit for your business. But, I've been speaking pretty frequently with another customer of ours, and when they switched over to start using Shop-Ware, he had to basically redo his entire operations manual, right? Because now he's got a different shop management system. So there's different things that technicians are doing. And writing out very comprehensive and good standard operating procedures is very time consuming, and takes hours and hours of time and lots of refinement. And so I think, even just the document portion, I think, and like you said here, and I think you're a big fan of the lug nut policy. But
well, you become a big fan of lug nut policy when something gets towed back in and the wheel's not on it anymore.
Yeah.
And I've heard some technicians say, well, I'm so good that would never happen. Yeah, until it happens to you.
Yep.
And how could that possibly happen? And we have our shop pretty high tech. So we've got video, and I've got video of technicians going through this policy here and zipping the nuts down lightly and making sure everything's clean and perfect, and lowering the vehicle on the ground, and then walking around that vehicle, and you can hear and you can watch that a torque wrench hit 20 times on all those lug nuts, and go out, and everything is perfect. And lo and behold, it gets towed back in. Now, I'm not saying it happens often, but it doesn't have to happen very often.
All it has to happen is once to be a bad problem. Absolutely, 100%.
And we went through this, and especially when you get a new employee, you get an apprentice in there, and you say, well, how complex can it be to put a lug nut on? It's not simple. There's a 10-step process to do it. Something else, and just briefly that I'll mention, since you made a reference to software, something we've been working on. This isn't complete, but we've got to start on it. Let's go in here and let's go down to canned job kits.
I was actually looking at this today. I was actually looking, and I pulled up I think there's one for brakes, pulled up the brake one, and I was looking at it.
Yeah, and this isn't, all we're doing here is, instead of, some people are better at writing. We're pretty good at writing. So we've taken some basic text here, put a logic, how you're going to logically do this procedure, and we put it in there so you can copy and paste this, put it in your software, and it's going to, now your can job that you're building at your shop, we just took you from, 20 minutes down to 3.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of this. That's the beauty of the whole website, is to save you time doing this. But that's interesting that you were looking at this today.
Yeah, I was literally looking at this one today because someone in another chat and whole another conversation, someone was talking about canned jobs. And so then I saw this one, and so I pulled it up, and yeah.
Great little time saver. And we expect to see these in shops all over the place, as people, they buy the premium membership, they get access to this, and away they go. So, but yeah. Anything else in there fascinating? You want? You've got.
No, I would have liked to see more. I think those are great additions, because I think, I think canned jobs are super important. And when you talk about increasing efficiency, just making things run smoother, especially if you're a newer shop getting started and you don't have a database of canned jobs and you're starting from scratch, right? I mean, right here already, you're talking about saving yourself, hours and hours of time, which can be.
Yeah, we have one in process now that has to do with, I think, like charging, starting systems, so on and so forth. That's the one. And when you come in the end, the document may not seem all that long by the time we're done with it, but it takes a lot of time to put it together.
Yeah.
And we do, we go out of, when you're going to take some of our documents, and this is probably true of the newer ones and the older ones, because we've gotten better at it over the years, but we're pretty fussy with this stuff. We run it through something like Grammarly to make sure that when you have a customer who's an English teacher, they're not going to look at it and say, what idiot wrote this? We try to really make it look nice, so you look more professional too.
Awesome. Well, Tom, I want to thank you again for spending time with us today. I enjoyed going through it. Obviously I haven't been through the entire site, but maybe I will, spend a weekend binging and going through and checking it out, like you were talking about some more.
Then you'll buy a shop. Next thing you know. David's Auto Repair.
I work with enough of you to know that's not a good idea. But I like working with you guys. I'm not sure if I want to do it myself. So I'll keep doing what I do. You keep doing what you do.
Well, we
but
sure
again,
appreciate the invitation, the opportunity to just show this around a little bit. And once people learn what it is, we find out they really enjoy it and they find it a good value.
awesome. Well, thanks again, Tom. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will talk with you soon.
Okay. Thanks again,
All right.
David.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.